man. I can't believe I'm regretting not watching more isekai anime. How the heck do I get back to the real world? Oh.
Actually, I'm wearing no t-shirt. It's so friggin' hot here, bro. Like so hot. Like this is why I always fall asleep in the afternoon because it's so hot in New Zealand right now. It's so crazy, dude. Like you know how they say about El Nino and stuff like that. Well, it's like that here. And the worst thing is you get sand flies, so you got to and flies in summer, and so you got to keep your you can't keep your windows open at night, and so you just basically wake up drenching with sweat. But never mind about that. So, how you doing, man?
I'm alive.
That's good to know. It's good to know. I barely made it. I had about 4 days or 3 days of food poisoning.
That
You know.
must have sucked. My brother's gotten that before. He had some bad fish down in Texas.
Yeah, I left food like meat and like to defrost in the fridge for a couple of days longer than it should have, and I didn't realize. And so yeah, it was like cooked, but like it was chicken and pork, two of the worst things you can have. That's like bitch aged or not
Yeah,
cooked properly.
yeah.
Yeah,
You don't want those to go bad.
yeah. So which is basically when you get sick, you get behind in your work, right? And then you totally like hurry up and try to catch up, but and then it piles up and you can't see things properly. But here's the thing about this whole thing today, right? About this whole so yeah, I wanted the indie comics blood sport, right? It seems like
Yeah,
if unless you talk about uh, fat scabs and scammers in indie comics on something called crowdfunding, right? Uh, you are not going to get anywhere on YouTube, right? You got to talk about a fat dude who scams everybody on crowdfunding, like takes your money. And thankfully, I was smart to never back, kick comic skate, I should say, right? Because I'm one of these guys who like to do my own thing, stick with my own kind, right? Kind of, my own group, people I trust, people I know in real life, or people I've spent, hours and hours video chatting with, like face to face, or chatting with and I get to know better, like you, right? And so when people approach me about, and I'm repeating this, right? But I just want to give you a bit of background here to our viewers, right? That and I see you guys. Thank you for coming over. I appreciate that. So when I was like 2019, man, like 2019, that's like what seven years ago. I was asked that if we could become part of Comicsgate, right? One of my artists popped up and said, "Hey, man, so what do you think about this?" And I'm like, "Dude, that's their thing, let us create our own thing, right? Let's just do our thing and build on that slowly, surely." But the thing is that a lot of people have really high hopes and dreams when about being part of groups. But me, I've been part of groups like since I was like 16 years old, and I'm in religious groups, right? So when you part of groups where there's like 200 real people in front of you, right? And you meet around other people that are similar, and they talk, and you learn people's traits, you learn how people behave, right? There's always going to be that one person who wants to be the captain of the ship. The thing is, when you desire to be the captain of the ship, there's a lot of responsibilities, and some people, right, Tim, some people basically want it too much. And that's the people you got to worry about when they want it too much.
you know what the biggest difference between a religion and a cult is? religion you get to leave. Unlike some of the people who wanted to leave Comicsgate quietly, but were not allowed to.
But that's what a cult is. You can't leave quietly from a cult. They hound you. They come to your door and they knock on your door. Okay, come along to church, bro. When I was like 19 years old or 18 years old, I think, there was a group that used to go around, and I was hanging out with my mates up in Auckland, and this is a city that's 2 hours from where I live. One of the biggest cities in New Zealand. Like it's so like it's so big for the small amount of place it is, right? Because New Zealand's very small and very congested, and people keep wanting to come here. We don't want them, right? Please go somewhere else, right? Unless you love our country, just leave, right? So anyway, that aside. So what happens is that when I was there was some group called the Church of something something, right? I don't know exact name, or the Family Church, or some weird new cult. And they'll drive up to your place, and like if you agreed to go with them, and that day you decided not to, they'll knock on your door and come together as a group and come on, time to go to church, bro. Come on. And I look at that and I look at all right, it's okay, bro. Yeah. So they'll come up and go, bro, let's go. We gotta go to church. I'm like, dude, we gotta go skateboarding. All right. What's going on with this? So and my mate goes, oh, they showed up last week, bro. And I said, okay, because I was like, nobody was here to help me. I was by myself and I was a bit worried what was going on. And they sounded like they were, good people. And then now like they all turn up. And so I'm like, okay, dude, what should we do? You can't go with these people because I understand, I know how a religion works enough to, being around it for like, I guess about 30 years of my life, or 20 years of my life. In different factions of, of these church groups, right? And so when I look at CG, I just thought, well, it's okay, like let them do their comics thing, right? And I'll do my own thing. Tim?
Sorry, I was finished eating. I didn't want to sound like a pig. For me, I was I didn't even know EV. I didn't remember. I remembered Cyberfrog, but I didn't remember EVS.
Yeah.
I didn't know who. I didn't hear about him at first. It was your boy Zach.
Yeah.
And I just kind of, like I said, I tell people, I dug up my character and reimagined him. But I heard about smaller creators first, like Cross Comics. I knew Dillard. I actually was first interviewed pretty much by Dillard.
Yeah.
He was a very rough interviewer, and caused me to actually go back and kind of think about my character a little bit more.
Right.
Anyway, so all these big names I didn't even. I remember. Oh, Cyberfrog. Oh, I remember that. I remember an ad in a Wizard magazine. Okay. Cool. We're taking on the man, and some of these guys used to work for the industry. Okay.
Well, the thing, taking on the man, it's like, here's the thing, right? The man is too big for you to take on.
Yeah.
And this is what happens. Like, we're going to take on the man. It's like people going, we're going to fight the power. It's like, dude, the power is the richest thing in the world. They control, like, you look at Epstein, right?
Right.
Billionaire, dude. Billionaire. Why was he billionaire? Because other people were giving $150 million.
Right. Well, here's the thing about Comicsgate.
Yeah.
We were fighting the system. But what we didn't know is these people like Malin, EVS, etc. Shane Davis. They are the system. They're the system pretending to be indie creators. They're LARPing as indie creators. They're not one of us.
Well,
they never will be one of us. They never had to. They got picked to work for the. They were cogs in the machine. They were picked, to work for them, and they, I don't think they really know what it's like to start at a grassroots level.
When you're in the machine, you only know how to behave like the machine.
Exactly.
Right. So this is why I found the whole idea of, I didn't even look when people mentioned indie comics to me, it was like Comicsgate. It was about independent creators, right? People who are hobbyists who had a dream to do their own comic books, right? Similar to myself, right? After 35, 40 years of reading comics, going to film school, learning how to write stories better, doing stage plays, writing stage, acting in stage, producing and directing stage plays, working in short films and stuff for other people and all this shit. And then you go, okay, well, now I can't, now I have, being in a car accident and go, oh shit, now I can't do all that, my dream. So, but I still want to write a story, right? And that's the sort of people that I thought Comicsgate was. Instead, Comicsgate just became these people who are from the mainstream, running it like the mainstream, treating other people like myself and like yourself and everybody else who are from backgrounds like me, right? Like shit. And we're supposed to bow down to these people while they ruin the very, very bank, right? Destroy the very bank support that we can get from crowdfunders, from people like ourselves, supporting people like ourselves, right? FUBU, right? For us, by us, right? But these guys out here, these fat a-holes, all they care about is, basically getting fatter of people like us. And the sad thing is that there's people like us still funding them. This is what really pisses me off, is that they keep funding them. And it's like as long as you keep funding them, it's like SJWs, right? Say a company basically starts LARPing for some friggin' SJW shit, woke shit, right? They put up like rainbow flags everywhere and they, sell rainbow clothes to your kids and all this. And instead of you going, hey, I don't agree with that, so I'm not going to go and spend my money there. No. I'm going to still spend my money there, right? I'm still going to go spend even though I don't agree with it, I'm still going to spend my money there. That's some BS. That's what CG is right now. And that's what these people are doing in CG right now, keeping it floating because they're just like those people still funding the very thing they hate, bro.
Well, there's always going to be, those people are weak. They're weak-minded fools who have to follow something. They have to be if it wasn't Comicsgate, it would be something else. They'd be following but these people online, these people these quote unquote backers, they're weak people, not the ones that got screwed over and realized, this is bullshit. No, I'm talking about the people who still simp for them. I'll tell you, like our creators, like Liam Gray. He was kicked out. He was, they drove him pretty much almost crazy.
Yeah.
And as soon as EVS pulls out a chair for him, he runs back like a little dog.
Well, it's like the cults. That's what the cult does, bro. They'll abuse you.
He had his own. Sorry.
Yeah, but sorry, you carry on, man. I'm just jumping on the beer.
He had his own thing going. He had his own fan base. If he just stuck to his guns and held on to his integrity, he'd still be kind of his own thing and away from this mess. But no, they drag him back in. They use him to cause distraction.
Well, I've watched another person on there, right, this week, or was it last week? I think I caught it on the list of clips, maybe, right? And he was, and Ethan was saying, give me 50% of your money that you made off my IP, right? By parodying my IP, give me 50%. It's like, who the are you to think that somebody should give you their money even after you were out there? Hey, you got blood sports with them, so that's fine. But you both of you enter into a contract of blood sports, right? To attack each other. So why you want his money now, right? Are you
Isn't that
broke?
protected under parody?
Exactly. That is total parody, right? It's not, and that's the difference between parody, is that you're not actually doing it. He's doing what he's doing, right? I don't like to parody shit. I'm just one of these guys who like to create original work, right? This week, somebody decided to go, somebody tried to call me out on Raptor stream, or was it Wiggle stream? I don't fucking know. Might even be. Oh no, actually, it was on. What the fuck was it? It was on a Les Metz stream. My good friend Les Metz, right? A stream. So I mentioned that I was doing my Howler comic book, right? That I'm doing a werewolf Howler comic book because I'm a huge creature. Two of my favorite movies, things in life, has always been a werewolf, right? I always wanted to be a werewolf. That was my thing as a human being. That my dream, if there was any creature I wanted to be, it was to be a werewolf, right? And even since I was a child. And so I watched stuff like Silver Bullet, right? Barry Windsor Smith. I think it was Windsor Smith. Gosh, I can't remember. And Stephen King graphic novel. It's actually not a graphic novel. It's just like, not in the sense of what we know as like Alan Moore's, Watchmen, right? Something like that. That sort of graphic novel. It was more like a what we call light novels, right? In Japanese, like where you have a picture, then you have a couple pages of text, and then you have a picture, then a couple of stuff like that. That's that sort of thing. So Cycle of the Wolf is that, and then the movie was Silver Bullet, and I watched that as a teenager, like maybe about 13, 14, and I was like, wow, this is the best thing ever, to be a werewolf, right? And howling and everything. And so I go, yeah. So I'm writing a maxi series 12 issue story, because I don't want something to go on and on, in about 4-issue arcs, and so, or 3-issue, 4-issue arcs. And so next month I'm going to release it, right? End of next month, with a manga thing. And so somebody has a call to say, oh, there was a time when everybody was releasing a comic book, a werewolf comic book. I'm like, so what the fuck? I'm thinking in my head, what has that got to do with me? Right? It's another creature thing. We're talking about that because Alasmat is drawing a freaking werewolf in London image, which looks pretty good, by the way. I actually think Alasmat's a good creature artist, like a sketcher, whatever you want to call it.
He's really good at inking.
Yeah. And like, I used to be able to do that, but since I had my accident back in freaking 94, right, with the glass on my right wrist, which was my sketching wrist, I haven't been able to draw like that. And it is what it is. So I write, all right, and I do design work and color flatting and shit like that. But it's like people like want to bite you, bro, for no reason. Like, you don't go out of your way to bite them, and they turn around and want to bite you. It's like because they're afraid that if you start getting a step ahead, they'll want to drag you back, bro. And I'm like watching the chat, and I'm going, motherfucker, how dare you, bro? What did I do to you? Especially like, hey, I was actually, subscribing to you like a member of your channel, and then I decided not to, and now you probably, because of that, you're gonna like bite me because I decided not to continue subscribing and pay you monthly $4, $5, which I'm going to use it to promote my own shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I told you about the beef I had. I'm not going to go back into it, but
yeah. Like, I clipped it, so it's there on our channel, right?
Yeah.
If anybody wants to, it's that 10 minutes of you going off. Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
Yeah, 10 minutes. But all I'll say is literally, I didn't start anything. All of a sudden, it was just like these random messages.
Yeah.
And I still to this day have no idea what it was about. And it's just like, so some people when they start like these blood sports or something, or beef or whatever, they do it literally sometimes for no reason. You're just there and convenient. I mean, when you think about it, all this stuff really isn't that important. It'd be like, okay, so.
But the weird thing, that's the thing. But why start the bite, right? I mean, like the only person should be biting at or trying to like get people to stop supporting is Ethan Van Sciver and Comicsgate.
Well, exactly. Because all these CG kings, because they don't deserve it. Yeah.
Well, not only that they are basically destroying crowdfunding, and people on crowdfunding are saying that they're destroying crowdfunding.
Right, but do you think it's possibly too late? That's why I decided not to crowdfund anymore. It's like, besides being able to fund the book myself.
Bro, if I wasn't like if I was still able to, because and I can't, work 24, full time, I would go and fund my own books, bro. I
Yeah,
would
yeah, I get that. I
basically
get that.
put my own money into it. The only
I
reason
get that there's some people who can't, but
yeah. Oh no, I'm saying, I'm saying that. So, but that's what really pisses me off. You got these guys out here who are able to do that, right, and get $2 million in their pocket, and what do they do with it? They throw it all away for ego. They gamble it away, bro. Like, dude, do you know how many comics I've literally got like about over 50 different stories on my desktop right now, on my hard drive, external drives, that I would be able to get artists to, finish and get it out there with $2 million, bro. Hell, even 500,000. Hell, even 100,000, 50,000. Because there are people, and here's what people don't understand. There are artists around the world who are much better than Ethan Van Sciver, who would do it for half the price, if not a third the price, if not even friggin' $100 a page.
well, and just because you spend like far out the ass for a comic book, doesn't mean it's like it's gonna, you're still lucky when it's a hit.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? And one thing that really cracks me up is that he put everything into that one IP, Cyberfrog, right? A robot toad, right? Into that one IP, and look at what has that IP done apart from just make him rich and then make him poor again because of his ego. Dude's like begging people to change music. Hey, give me, $10 a super chat, so I'll put a new music on, like a new song on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even that. Like, it's not that. It's basically battle toads with cybernetic arms and legs.
That's very original. That's so original, bro.
Oh, so original. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how people claim that that you're not original, but they are. But
yeah,
when they have a frog book like everybody else,
yeah,
or they do something like they think of like a mutant team, even though there already is a mutant team, but they call them something else. And it's just like, well, that just sounds stupid. Or a Cyberforce ripoff. But it's just there. It's everything's been done before, so you might as well kind of I don't know. I just people like to call other people unoriginal when they're not that original themselves.
right. And that's what I was thinking when they were talking about like my Howler comic book. I'm like, dude, it's not just a werewolf book. Werewolf is part of it, but there's like freaking 200 years of history that goes back about 1400, 1600 years back to Vlad Tepes, right? That's just one thing of it. It's like all these freaking rich research I had to do about every legend that's out there in human history. What the fuck's a Fosse Grim? I didn't even know what a Fosse Grim was, right? And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Where this? So I'm like writing the story. I'm thinking, how do I make it as much exciting and as total original to bring it into this world where you can write about put in there, chuck in the nine-tailed fox, right? Chuck in there friggin' some raven-headed freaking creature, right? But like, oh no, we'll just write another story about a frog, right? It's weird. Like, I don't even. Like, I've gone right. So the only superhero comic book I do is called Incredible, because it's an all ages, full color comic for kids. For kids, right? A superhero comic book for kids. Wrote for my 7-year-old niece. That was in 2007. She actually got married last year at 21 years old, right? So think about how long ago I wrote that story. But
right,
and that was done because I said to my niece, "What do you want? If you could be a superhero, what could you be?" She goes, "I want to be Incredible because Incredibles were a big thing." And so, but at this time, like, there's so much fucking superhero comics out, bro. Right? So I worked my ass off to make it an all ages safe for kids to read, so that we could have a full color book that kids could read. Parents could feel safe around giving that to their kids, rather than friggin' giving them a Batman book thinking it's okay, and then you find out there's this dong there, right? you know, and not realizing that, because I used to own a comic shop, right? So I know what it's like when parents walk in, think they one thing, and they don't realize that that's something else in there, right? And so you got to talk to them and say, hey, look, no, this is not for a kid. Is your kid, this is an age thing. There's like Daredevil Max, Deadpool Max, right? A 14-year-old kid comes and goes, oh, I want this, and I'm like, dude, no, you can't have that. It's like and I go to his mom, look, this is like R18, and his mom goes, oh no, that's all right, he can handle that. I'm like, oh, okay, but really, I'm it's on you, man. I'm not really can't sell that to you, you know. So when you're writing for all ages comic book, you got to research and make sure it's like safe for kids, whatever you're putting in, right? How do you
period, man.
What's that?
It's a different time period. When I was growing up, you wanted, as a kid, you wanted the edgy books. That's why everyone wanted to get a copy of Image Comics.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, now it's like you don't know what's in that comic book, right? Is it safe space? Is it internet gas in that? So that sort of characters. So I think we've gotten to a point where, like, nobody really cares about comics, but people who are at a stage where they want to laugh at being something. But creators like ourselves, we have a passion for it. But there's a group out there called Comicsgate with leaders who just want to shit on us all day long because we're not them, right? So because we're not them, they want to bite us. And the other worst thing is that others among us, rather than helping each other out, they want to bite each other as well. Crabs in a bucket, bro.
There is good news, though.
What's the good news?
Comicsgate is only like 1% of the market, so it means that most of the people are not seeing their stuff, even though they think they are. Right.
But the thing, okay, carry on.
Right. So they're most of the general population don't even know they exist. So it's like the infection is kind of isolated itself because of its own incompetence.
So I am going to type into Grok, right, to ask about Grok. How much damage has the indie comics group, right? Quote, Comicsgate, unquote, done to crowdfunding in general, right? In general, take into account all the online chatter, on the online posts, comments, Indiegogo website, supporter comments, supporter backer comments. So let's see what our AI is going to tell us about that. Hopefully something, or maybe not. Oh, while I'm doing that, I want to bring up something that I forgot to. I wanted to bring up, which hopefully I have it here, bro. But I know the other day there was this thing about, like, what's his name on Joe Rogan, right? Eric July on Joe Rogan, and I think I should have a time code here saved. But here we go. Brilliant. Look at that. 3 hours and 4 minutes in. All right. So give me a second here while I grab this, guys. Because it's just got to get to the right spot. Like they say, the sweet spot, right? So
I don't know. She's arrow.
There's it. Great. Is that the southern voice that Raptor has, man? I like that voice. It sounds like he'd do really good as a country and western singer. Because seriously, he's got a great voice. So what I want to bring up is, I think it's about here, just to, where are we on the numbers here? So what happened here was that, let me get out of this, because I think I slept through all this, right? So usually the time this is on, I'm usually sleeping because I'm usually up through the night. I mean, right? So I've been up since 10 last night, and it's like for me here now it's 1:30 the next day, right? So I work through the night because I like the quietness. I don't like noise when I'm working. It helps me concentrate because my concussions and head injuries. I like silence, and I don't even have music on sometimes. Even that's how badly I can, like, it affects my thinking process. So, bit of background. Oh, sorry. Carry on, Tim. Before I start this.
I just want to make this real quick. I did type in this. I asked Rock if it thinks that the damage Comicsgate has done to comics has been isolated, and it says you're right. The Comicsgate or hashtag Comicsgate remains largely obscure to the general public. The average person who doesn't follow comic books, indie creators, or online culture wars probably has no idea it exists.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So here's what my one says, right? Comicsgate has caused immeasurable damage to trust in indie comics crowdfunding, but the impact is largely confined. Oh, you're right. Is that the same thing you read?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So this is what the accumulation of all, if from 2020 to 2026, there's the data. So 6 years, right? And it says here, delays and refund issues. Many high-profile Comicsgate projects, either investigate Soul Frog, a series, Rippaverse by Eric July, and others, face years-long delays. I don't know about the Rippaverse thing, but backers' comments on Indiegogo and Kickstarter frequently mention ignored refund requests, poor communication, accusations of scam, and Ponzi-like behavior. Yet people still support it, bro. Isn't it interesting? Like, it's like Ponzi backers comments. Here, let me just put this out, just so you guys don't know that I don't think that I'm just reading off the top of my head. Not that I can use all these big words right there, but like, sorry, I didn't put the B in the start there. So yeah, that's backer, right? So, and the rest is there in the chat. So yeah, waiting 3 to 5 years and public complaints on projects, declining campaign performance. Every Comicsgate project raised significant sums, some over 1 million, but later ones, right, since 2022, 2024 to 2025, saw sharp drops, many under 100 to 500K. That's like a 500K drop, right? And also here, Rippaverse campaigns, for example, went from millions to far lower amounts, and critics citing backer fatigue from repeated delays, right? Eroded trust. Some creators and backers explicitly avoid Indiegogo due to its association with Comicsgate. Dude, look at that. That tells you that people just won't even go. And I keep missing that first word. First letter, so it's eroded. Apologies there. Let me get rid of that because I just hate. Let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that. And then I'll put the. So when people watch this, I'll read this later. We'll be like, "What the hell did he mean by that?" I'm trying to guess, right? So there. Comments across platforms warn others to stay clear, dude, of certain indie comics campaigns, leading to higher scrutiny and lower success rates in the anti-woke conservative indie comics niche. So the very thing that was created to help the conservative movement against the mainstream is destroying that same movement and stopping people from actually backing that movement, right?
Well, exactly why my books are found on Amazon,
Yeah,
folks. Melvin 0 through 3 special editions and soon to be 4, and Zed and Odysseus full length book on Amazon. Thank you.
yeah, man. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, if I could, and if I didn't have a broken back and a broken neck and a head full of concussions, I would be freaking working and paying for my own books, right? So yeah, check out Tim's work here. All his links are there on the Velvet Comics 6679 dash link there in the chat. So now what I want to do is I want to. So when I saw this, right, unwrap this thing, I'm going to play it through. I straight away went to Grok and I said, hey, tell me about what happens when somebody's mentioned on Rogan. Because I already knew in my head how this works, right? Because I know how I behave. If I hear a movie mentioned because I watch like movie recaps and like the best 80s movies, the best sci-fi, the best horror, like from, like there's a couple channels that I watch all the time to see, movies that I've never heard of. So as soon as I hear it, I go check it out and like I go, oh yeah, who's in it? What's it about? And then later on, if I can find it, I'll watch it, right? So I usually, I'll ask Grok what the plot is or something. So here's the thing. So Joe Rogan appeared, some dude, Michael Malice, right? I don't know who that is, but I've heard that name before. From I don't know where, but I have heard that name before in the last 5 years or so, since the last 7 years since I've been back from my sabbatical away from social media and shit.
Whoa, hang on a second.
No.
Was there a little
Wait, is this?
Everybody's bragging about like
yeah.
crowdfund. I don't know what that's going to be. I'm telling you right now, man, crowdfunding. Like, did you see Unwanted, the Ripperson book? Everybody's bragging about like Michael Malice.
All right, so that's not a sign of crowdfunding.
Whoa, hang on a second. Was there a little wow, man, they are really so open with this shit. It's almost hysterical sometimes. Wow. Shane,
It's funny.
maybe if you could like mute your mic before you do your pouts and shit on stream.
He's so defensive of crowdfunding, It's funny.
Well, he has to be right now, Pan, because of terms of service.
Terms of
Indiegogo gave them
service.
the boot, brother. They got nowhere to go.
Yeah. No, is he not on Indiegogo anymore? Or?
I think he is still in good standings, I do believe.
I thought so, but I do know that they have their own website, so I don't know what their setup
They've been
is.
slowly.
Apologies if you've already seen this, but there's a reason why I'm showing this, and I'm only going to show a couple of minutes of it. This is from Born in the Newscast. Ripperverse keeps winning, and Comic Gate still
Moving away from it,
links in the chat.
but I do know that with whatever Indiegogo changed on the back end, they can no longer show the Indiegogo on their website.
I remember that. Yeah.
So times are hard for everyone. It would seem
rough out there.
Damn.
Wanted, the Ripperson book. Everybody's bragging about like Michael Malice.
All right, so that's not a sign of crowdfunding.
Oh boy.
I refuse to say that's any type of signal. That's not the dipstick of crowdfunding.
Anonymous Flash says, if legendary writer Mike Barron doesn't understand their characters, it's because they can't write.
That would make sense. And so what Shane says.
Oh, here's the thing about that, right? So I don't use AI to write my comics. I don't come up with ideas with using AI or anything like that. I don't use AI to draw our books, right? Because we have artists to do that, and I'm a writer, right? And I also have a writer who's writing his own book called Valley of the Kings, which we will be releasing at the end of this year, about September, November sometime. So what I do use AI for, which I only discovered I could do that this week, was go to Grok and say, hey, Grok, can you analyze a PDF version of my work and give me a summary of that. And you know it can do that? Did you know that Grok can summarize your PDF of your own comic book with all its characters, with all its stories?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah, let's see. Well, I get some details wrong.
Yep.
But it pretty much it basically said where it's. I'll show you in private chat.
Mm-hmm.
And you can show.
I know. I'll show you what it did for me, because I want to, like, because of what I'm using AI for as a tool, right, to basically help me market my book better, right? It's like sorry, I was looking at computers there. Here we go. Let me go back up here. I ask a lot of things from my AI because I'm a very curious person, right? So, oh yeah, here we go. So I call it Angel. I can't just go AI, right? So anyway, please summarize the plot without spoilers. Focus on main characters such and such. Ignore pages, because these are the pages like the cover, the back cover, the interior cover, info page, and advertising. This one here's actually a 2-page. Oh yeah, I think there's a 2-page poster or something, and then you got the back matter and all that shit. So I said, tell us that, and this is what it's. This is the one. It's like final small version PDF, and so and you're right, Tim. It doesn't, like, sometimes it messes stuff up, and of course you can go and fix that, right? So it goes here. Here's a summary of this comic book that's coming out at the end of next month, March, right? Along with Howler. So it goes to Tortoise number 1, volume 1, chapter 1, follows main character Amber, a curious young girl embarking on an unexpected. It's actually supposed to be a young woman, so I could change that, because it starts off talking about her as a child and stuff. Embarking on an unexpected adventure sparked by a mysterious tortoise. I got to change some of that because it's actually, her pet tortoise. Amber's journey involves exploration, family bonds, fantastical discoveries, and a vibrant exotic setting. Yeah, it's on an island, right? She goes to an island called Indonesia, right? And so her fiance, Kirsten, provides emotional support and companionship. Definitely. Adding warmth and depth to Amber's experiences. The story blends everyday life with magical elements, highlighting Amber's determination, resilience, and the strength of her relationship with Kirsten. 82 words, bro. You could understand that, right, Tim? I mean, it's also freaking horror, and
I completely understood that.
Yeah, I've kind of left out some pages so that it wouldn't, because it's not going to spoil it, right? I don't want it to spoil it. But that's kind of like 82 words gives you the whole idea of what the story's about in a superficial way without spoiling, because there's a lot of things that goes on there. And the other one I did was Incredible, right? So I asked Incredible about 200 words. And actually, right, so here, I think I forgot to change something, and they try to do, and this is where, like, talking about AI does it wrong, right? It mixes stuff up, because before I was talking about something else, and it just goes up and does that thing. But here's what Incredible about is, right, too. So ignore this, Amber. So the teenage superhero known as, all right, she's actually 22. But right, so you got to change that. Who possesses Incredible, who possesses super strength, flight, and energy blast. Wrong. She is joined by her fiance Kirsten. So wrong, right? So you can't always expect it to be freaking thing. But the other thing is, one thing I want, like, before, all the way back up here, because what really, what brings us to where are we? Riversand.
Right.
So let's go back to listen to this, and then we'll go from there. But like I said, it can give you right answers, it can give you muddled up answers, but at the end of the day, it's a tool. So let's do this.
Like, this isn't like, a barometer to measure crowdfunding. This isn't a dipstick. No, this isn't the dipstick of crowdfunding. No, you're the dipstick of crowdfunding.
Good stuff. I refuse to. I believe. Oh, he's built brick by brick a shitty label, a shitty brand, and everybody that's putting that on the book, it's hurting. But yeah,
here's the thing about that.
Sounds like jealousy.
Oh, that too. But listen to what he said. He built brick by brick a brand. What did these dudes do? They were handed a brand, Comicsgate. They came into a brand. Eric July, who they, are actually talking about here, he built his thing. Right, Tim?
Right.
And so, like he said, brick by brick, Eric July busted his back doing what he's got to do, like all of us in indies have to do, right? Who don't have a big main 30 years of, idol worship from mainstream comics about our work from people who I don't even know who the hell this dude was. I probably have his book of his artwork on some frigging comic book, but never knew his name ever. And the only reason I know Shane Davis is because his work on a Batman book with one of my favorite writers, J. Michael Straczynski. And it's the only reason I bought that book, because I like JMS. Babylon 5, my best #1 sci-fi series, I guess close tied with Star Trek. But he did that on his own, right? So I don't know these guys from a bar soap apart from that, man. And yet they were given how many people were you there in the beginning, Tim? Because how many people were there?
I missed the first few years.
To someone to be able to back you to $2 million, there's got to be a lot of thousands of people there backing that, right? And these guys just walked into that support group and like a church and basically turned it into a cult and threw out anybody else who actually built it, who were actually good at it, and who were actually doing well and support, actually getting work out. But no. These people had to take over it and turn it into a cult and abuse people and lie about them. And when those people left because they didn't want to be lied about and faced, being lied to every friggin' day on live streams all across their live streams, there's probably about 10 of it's like 6 or 7 of them, throughout the week. And there's like every day somebody's lying about you. And so those guys chose to leave, and yet they still lie about them. That's the total cult. And here they're talking about Eric July, what? Since 5 years now? I mean, 2 years it's been like Eric July's been around doing his own thing. But these guys wouldn't exist now without them, without Eric July. Because you got to have an evil, right? That's what I mean. Like someone's chosen me and you. Some other individuals have chosen me and you as their Eric July, which is kind of sad, bro.
Yep.
That indie comics people, rather than working together, and I mean like actual indie comics people, not like these mainstream a-holes here on the screen, but indie comics people would come out of their friggin' own thing and start biting at us, right? Because we're doing our own thing. It's like, I'm not going out of my way to bite at you. So why are you coming and biting at me? Like what?
Exactly. It's
Am I taking money out of your pocket? Shit, man. I write a book about such and such. You write a book about such and such. If people don't like your book, they'll come to me. They might like my book. Maybe they won't like my book. Maybe they'll like Tim's book. So am I going to buy Tim?
No.
Why would I buy Tim? Because Tim writes a book for his audience, people that like his books.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to help Tim promote his book, because maybe his audience might come over and support me and still support Tim, because that's how things work. People forgotten what punk rock is all about, what metal's about, bro. When you're when you're a fan of metal music, you tell all your mates about it, right? If you like a certain type of music, you tell your mates about it, and they go, "Oh, okay, let me check it out." Or maybe go, "Nah, bro, I don't like that." Okay, but what about this?
That band sucks, man. What the hell?
Yeah, or maybe like, listen to this. I got something better for you, right? And that's how it's got to be in friggin' when you're creating comics, right? Okay, you don't like this one? Well, maybe try this one. I mean, that's why for about 3 years I was interviewing indie comics people, right? I had a small channel, so nobody knew shit. but I always actually, all over Facebook, I promote them, But now I've got people, those same people who I used to promote, coming out to bite me. I'm like, what the fuck? What'd I do to you, right? That you got to call me a friggin' far right dude because of Islam, right? Because I call out Islam. That's because you've never known what you've never met what Muslims believe. You never know what Muslims believe.
It seems you can't reconcile the difference between Western values and their values.
Well, check this out. This is sorry, dude. Carry on.
I just all that's going to say. It's damn near impossible.
Yeah. So check this out then. So this is an Indian guy, Sheikh, right? These are very religious, not very religious, but they're very, devout, straight edge, moral people, right? Some people don't understand it, don't understand the difference. Sheikhs are very, very different, even amongst our own selves. Indians, they're a tribe of their own. So, sorry, that was too loud. Let me pause this because it keeps playing. All right. So, how does this work? Oh, here we go. So this dude said, "Hey, we're proudly not selling halal meat." There's an Indian, right? Dalwala, chaiwala. Chaiwala is basically tea guy, right? Cup of tea. Tea. Wala means person, right? Chai means tea. So this is they say proudly not selling halal meat, and so this is what happens to him because of that. This is Islam, right? I don't want to get political at this situation, but but it's someone called me a far right because I'm talking about freaking Islam.
Call Sadiq Khan, London. When in your restaurant outside, you're working, and they're threatening you. Say,
see, all these Muslims.
It's my choice. Where are you from? Who are you to ask me?
I told you.
It's okay, but I don't want to know your answer.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. Look at this Muslims. Yeah. Yeah, look at this Muslims. You see that? Gun signals. This is in London. Right? This is in London.
Yeah, they're overrun with that crap. They need to kick all those people out.
Yeah. So the dude's doing gun signs to this Indian dude, this Sikh dude, right? This guy here, right? And these are the guys in England calling out the groomers and rapists of children amongst the Muslims. Right. So Indians understand Islam better than anybody in the world. That's why Indians kicked out Islamists from India and put them all in Pakistan. Right? There was no Pakistan before 1940s, right? So they got rid of the Islamists from India. Like the doctors who by day they're doctors, engineers, science by night, right? They're shooting up people, blowing up people. So Indians know better than anybody in the world, as well as Israelis, right? What Islam's like, Islamists are like. So here, on a white man street, I'm saying that facetiously, but in Britain, you've got Muslims doing gun signs at Indians, all because he won't sell halal meat in his restaurant, in his Indian restaurant. Why should he? He's a different religion. He's a Sheikh, right?
Right.
Right? Threatening him, basically. Look at this freaking African fuck, right? In his towel, in his curtain thing, right? In his own place of business. It's like what?
The guy who's filming is from the guy who owns the restaurant.
No, the girl who's filming, the lady who's filming, I think that's his wife who's filming it. It's these people. Yeah, these are Muslims around his shop, right?
See, this is why they need guns in that country. That you could easily kind of like get the point across by pointing guns at those freaks.
This is what happens when you have mass immigration without control, right? Right. Look at them. They all friggin' all gang up. This is what they do. They can't handle one-on-one. And you know what's even worse? This week, and I don't want to go on about that, but this week in I don't want to go about the Islam shit. So what I want to Aussie, right? So Aussie this week what was it? Hold on. Let me see. Sky. I think it was in Sky News, but a lot of other people carried it. But gay kids, right? Gay people. Here we go. So let me just play this. So these ISIS-related people, right? IS, Islamic State, in Australia, lured gay people to beat them up. All right. So this is it. Gay men. And I'm the far right guy, dude. Right. So I gotta have an indie comic dude named Niobe Comics, motherfucker, calling me out for being a far right. Tim, you can say whatever you want about that now, man. I held off the last couple of weeks because I don't want to.
Oh, I stopped talking to him.
Yeah.
I used to. I mean, I stuck around for a while, but I never ever watched his show, and I just stopped talking. He just, I don't know what got his butt into such a, whatever. But yeah, he just be tripping.
I'm like,
He needs
fuck,
to stop
dude.
tripping.
I didn't even say anything to him because he was having argument with someone in his chat. Dude, if you're arguing with me in my chat, I'm going to give you a link to come on and argue with me on live stream.
Right.
Because that's what people call content. Let's hash it out, right? 101.
He's been known to do that. Like he used to come around Cross Comics all the time, and then he had a falling out with everybody or something, and just kind of left.
Yeah.
Or he had issues with Comicsgate, so therefore anybody who's associated or who used to be, or who have friends that are, you're just as bad.
Yeah.
It's like, really, dude?
It's like, just because I hang out with somebody doesn't mean I agree with everything they say. But even if I do, what's that got to do with you, right?
Yeah. Name anybody outside your little audience that knows who Niobe is.
Well, the worst thing is, like, he's been at it for 14 years, bro. Right?
I respect
and I've
that,
thought about this.
But at the same time, it's like, dude.
No. What I mean is, he's been at it for 14 years, but all he's done in that time has been arguing and debating and throwing off at everybody, bro. Instead of building bridges and reaching out to people and getting along, because, like, look, at the end of the day, if you're doing a piece of artwork, you want anybody to buy it. Like, if you buy my comic, I ain't gonna fight with you. Whatever you get out of it, hopefully you enjoy it. That's it. If you got questions about it, I'll answer your questions. But I'm not gonna fucking get on my stream and argue about it with you, or tell you're a bad person for reading somebody else's comic and not mine, right? Or supporting somebody else's and not me, because that's bullshit. At the end of the day, man, you want to grow, build friendships, and the only person that you should have as an enemy is Comicsgate and Ethan Van Sciver, because he's what's destroying indie comics and crowdfunding. All right? Even Grok understands that shit. So here's this is what Islam is, right? And people, like, don't really get it. I don't know why they don't get it, but here's gay men being lured by Muslim men and being beaten up.
Now to a disturbing story, Douglas, and a warning for viewers. Some of you may find the following footage distressing. It is graphic footage. This is a story out of Sydney of men being brutally bashed by groups of young Islamist men. In one case captured on...
Oh, yeah. By the way, Australia, that's what she's talking about. Australia, where they had a shootout. No, not a shootout. Sorry. A Muslim man and his father basically killed lots of people last year and injured so many on Christmas week. On the beach, broad daylight. Oh, and I'm the fucking far right, Niobe. I'm the fucking far right Niobe Comics for talking about Larry Higgins. All right.
Maybe you should get Larry Higgins a ticket to some Middle Eastern country and see how he fares.
No, fuck him. He can buy his own ticket if he's so in love with them. Oh no, don't worry about it, bro. Canada is becoming like that anyway. Because guess what? Canada signed some shit to have what is it called? Army age men whatever they call it, like, people in their 20s and 30s coming into from the Far East, from the Middle East, and from India. It's okay. They're going to become Middle Eastern very soon, right? They've already going to have more. In 10 years' times, they'll be overrun, bro. And then they'll be like, oh, shit, what happened? Oh, Aru was right. That Monkey King was right. Right? This is the warning now, bro. This is my warning now. The shit is coming, and it's coming fast. And the more people turn a blind eye to it, the faster it'll go. Right? You just saw those guys were doing gun signs to an Indian in Britain. Wait till it comes to freaking Canada. Last year, I showed on my my other channel last year how there was like a whole group of them going to the Indian temple with sticks in Canada. There's about 50 to 100 people trying to bash down their temple gates to beat them up. Muslims on Indians in their temple, going, what the fuck's going on? Where's the police? In Canada, dude, in daytime, afternoon, sun's all out. And here, gay men getting lured by Muslim youth in Sydney, I think Sydney is capital of Australia, or is it Brisbane? I can't remember. Right?
On video, but much of it too disturbing to put to air, even with pixelation. In this attack, you see this young university student being left for dead after the assailant repeatedly stumps on his head while yelling, "You want to be gay and Islamic State lives." But Douglas, despite the brutality of the attack and the victim suffering a broken nose, an eye socket, deep facial cuts and other serious injuries, his attacker walked free on 9 months probation with no conviction recorded. And he's suspected of other similar attacks. We've seen this phenomenon of gay men being targeted by Islamists in a number of cities across Europe. What is the answer, Douglas?
There is no fucking answer apart from deportation. That's it. There is no fucking answer apart from deportation. If you can't understand it now, and if you're not going to your senator, to your freaking councilman, to your mayor, writing and say, listen, we don't want this in our country. We don't want people beating up gay men. We don't want people shooting up our Jewish neighbors. We don't want our girls raped. We don't want our wives bashed or beaten at home, right? Or we don't want our young girls being groomed, right? And we don't want them laid away and beaten and abused. Kieran, Tim.
You damn well know Larry's not going to look at anything negative about anything that kind of goes against his narrative. He's right, and everybody who's the opposite is wrong.
And that's what's crazy, right? You can. This is the thing about SJWs. You can hold up the mirror to them, right? Remember, Niobe's all about the gay people, right? He's all about the yeah, because that's what he was like. It's like, oh, you gotta LBG. I'm all for them. The SJWs, I'm all for them, right?
It's funny
because hold on, Tim, and that's because he wasn't getting support from the conservatives, because he turned on the conservatives because he was loudmouth and abusive, right, to everybody and attacking everybody. And so people were like, I'm not going to support you because you're arrogant, because that's what I found from him. Like, he was very arrogant, but I just held my back. I didn't want to say anything. But now you fucking stabbed me in the back, right? You had to go out of your way to say shit about me. So, okay, you want to call me far right? Fine, I'll come back at you. So the thing was, he then turns around and starts saying, oh, this and that. And I'm like, oh, all right, let's make friends. Okay, so yeah, all right. So you're someone who like, LGBT, right? LGB, I don't freaking care about the T, right? LGB, right? Lesbian, bi, and gay, right? Cool. So he's all out there, yeah. And he's like, I'm all of that. But here, look, Niobe. Gay men are getting beaten in Australia, bro. Right? Or wherever else, all across the world, by Muslims. girls are being groomed, little girls, right, are being groomed and raped and trafficked into Middle Eastern countries. Some we don't even know where they are now. The parents don't even know if they just thought they were run away. They don't realize that those kids were sold as human slaves over into the Middle East. Some fucking cave somewhere, some tent somewhere in the Middle East. Hundreds of them, Niobe, motherfucker. Hundreds of them. What do you care about? Oh, you fake ass motherfucker.
Well, you notice his comic book doesn't have a character that's, I don't know, gay, doesn't have a Muslim character. It's just all lip service. His lips planted firmly on an SJW's ass.
Dude, SJWs don't give a fuck about any of those people.
No, they really don't.
Gays Gays for Palestine, bro. That's SJW. Right? They would rather see gay people die in Palestine just so they can get one up on Israel. Right? This is how disgusting those people are. And this is the thing, like, it's like KFC for, they say about KFC for chicken to KFC is gays for Palestine. And not all gay people. And this is what I think, I got to say here. Just those ones who lap. The most disgusting ones who lap, right? And this is the ones that probably Larry Higgins supports. Those who lap for Palestine because it makes them look good, right? One thing I saw today, which really brings home that, bro, is let me see if I can find it here. There was a school, where is it? Woke professor. Check this out, bro. Check this out. So this just came out today. This is what happens when what leftism is, right? What SJW is. It's that fake caring about people. See, I like it when people actually say what they think out loud. See, if you want to be racist, be racist towards me, whatever, fuck, right? Because I know then openly you do it, that's cool. But these people pretend they're not, right? And this is New York City professor. Dude, check this out, Tim. All right.
Has been placed on leave after a hot mic moment during a public school meeting. An 8th grader discussing a possible school closure interrupted.
They're too dumb to know they're in a bad school. I mean, apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like, if you train a Black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You've got to stop.
After that, shocked faces and about 10 seconds of silence, a moment that has Hunter College buzzing.
You could tell by their facial expression, they were all stunned, and I was like shocked too.
It felt so wrong. It is wrong.
Allison Friedman is a 10-year biology associate professor here, and now her employer is reviewing what happened, explaining that she was on a call as a parent private citizen, the school issuing a statement describing her comments as abhorrent, adding, "We stand firm in our enduring commitment to sustain an inclusive educational environment that is free of discrimination of any kind, in which people of all identities will feel welcome and can thrive."
This is SJW right here. This is the woke thing Nobi belongs to. See, it's funny because Nobi knows me quite well, right? And I'm the far right guy.
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
You can tell that they're never really about it because they'll switch up and go and jump on another cause like within a few months.
Yeah. But look, this person could say that when you've got Black people on the screen, right? 1, 2, 3, I can see here. From lack of my thing, I think there was one more.
Any kind.
Let me go right to the start here. Right. So one person wasn't showing themselves. So you got one, 2, 3, and maybe she might be a half caste. And then you got Asian up here, Chang Gong. Yeah. Right. So it's very diverse. All right. Imagine sitting there and hearing that. You know, if you can teach the person go to the toilet one time, you know, a black person, it's like what that other dude, the other, what's this, something Newsom said, oh, I'm just like you people. I'm dumb at reading too. You know, it's like, dude, it's crack up. It's like, like I said, I rather have people say it to my face, and I've had people say it to my face, and I've been okay with it because, hey, people say things what pops into their head. Because if you hear the word nigger 100 million times in a song, it's stuck in your head sometimes, right?
Right.
Because that's what happens. It's not like you're gonna like say it out of spite. It's just there. It'll come out. But like when somebody says it, and you can. Here's the thing about when somebody says it to you. In the heart, in your heart of hearts, you can feel attention when they really mean it, right? When they really mean it with hate, you can feel it inside you. When they don't, it's like a joke. It just flies over your head, you know. So let me get back to the other one, which I'm supposed to be talking about before we move on to Roblox. But Roblox is seriously shit. What's happening with the kids there, man? But let me go back to newscast and let me see if I can go forward a bit more. Let me double speed it so I can get to 1.5.
Like I saw it. I
tell these guys, like, first of all, like,
shitty label,
talk about
shitty brand.
Shout out. Like, I mean, you know, it's like, oh, we got mentioned on, you know, Joe Rogan. Yeah, in passing, Joe Rogan didn't acknowledge it. And like nobody knew what the fuck you were talking about, and you were painted like a bizarre clown when you did it.
Huh.
Okay. Now Raptor goes into more of that. Go check out the channel. Let me get the name of that properly. The link's up in the chat again. Actually, it doesn't want to move for me. Okay. So I want to show you guys what I just, like I said, like as soon as I heard that, I went, I know about this shit. I know how this, I've been around, I'm 53 years old in about 2 months, right? I've been around long enough in media and been taught to check, you know, learn. I mean, I've done media studies, is what I mean. So I know how all this works. So I asked Grok, right? Hey, man, after Michael Malice mentioned Eric July and Riververse on the Joe Rogan podcast this week, what was a Google Analytics search for Eric July and Riververse, all represent, spelled it 2 different ways. I think, no, I did the same way. I was supposed to get 2 different ways. Riververse, etc. in the first 6 hours, dude. In the end of the podcast, Tim. First 6 hours. I don't want to go 24 hours. I don't want to go too long. Just in the first 6 hours after the end. So 6 hours after it had ended, right? So give me 1 sec.
What?
Sorry, my mouth was all getting cotton wooled.
Oh.
So the Joe Rogan Experience episode featuring Michael Malice, number 2. Holy shit, bro! 2,457 was released on February 19th last week. Yeah, and goes in it. Malice highlighted Eric July and the Riververse as an example of independent creators successfully surpassing traditional gatekeepers like Marvel and DC, noting July's Kickstarter success, raising around $1 million for early projects and the brand's growth. Right. So here's what the analytics say, right? The first 6 hours after episode release. Google Trends and related search data show a sharp, immediate spike in queries for Eric July and Riververse, including common misspelling like Riververse, represent, Riververse, you know, without just 1 P, etc., starting shortly after episode dropped. Peak spike within the first 2 to 4 hours post-release, roughly 6 to 8 p.m. UTC. I don't know what that is. Early afternoon US time. Okay, early afternoon US time. Okay. So here, look at this. This is the most important thing. And I knew this is how it works. I'm not an idiot. I know how people's brains work because I know how my brain works when it comes to hearing something, right? I want to go search it straight away if I don't know anything. That's just my inquisitive mind. That's how I've been taught to think since I was in my late teens. I blame my dad for it. That's because he's a university-going person who's like very smart. So Eric July, right? The name alone, 400 to 600% above baseline, from near zero to a short-term peak. Ripperverse and variance, 800 to 1200% term. 800 to 1200% surge.
That's a pretty big advertisement right there.
And not only that, check this out. Related terms like Ripperverse, Joe Rogan, and Eric July podcast, 500 to 900%. Ripperverse from 0 to 100% interest, right? But spike was significant enough to rank Ripperverse and Eric July in trending searches in multiple US regions for several hours. Then there was a 6 to 12 hours before tapering, a secondary bump next day, right?
Yeah.
From shares and reaction videos. This is called the halo effect of Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I doubt Dick Masterson will feel stupid because apparently he doesn't care, but it doesn't matter. Don't you get he's about the art of it?
Bro, these guys know nothing about how the internet works and how people's brains work.
No, they're a bunch of clowns. And you know what? That Vito guy is not funny at all. He's never been funny.
Yeah, well, Mikey No More ripped on that yesterday. So I'm going to take a break and we'll put up a song on, and then we'll come back with Roblox, because it's important to hear about what's going on with Roblox. Because whenever kids are mentioned, because of my traumatic childhood, I like to talk about things that are happening to kids, right? Because it's like when you harm children, you harm generations, right? Their children, their children's children, right? And their fellow, I guess you could say, their kids, nieces, nephews, and all that. So, and I've seen this in many families around myself, right? Where a child's been hurt and then they grow up, the adult, is lucky not to become like that. And every child fights not to be like that as an adult, right? To become like, the person who abused them, whatever, or hurt them, domestic violence, beat their parents up and all that shit, right? Or beat them up as a child. So I'm going to put a song and we'll be right back after this song. Thank you, Tim. Won't be long, mate. Let me find the link. Get rid of that. Bring this up.
All right.
I think this is
You want to troll? You want to troll Asmat?
You can go troll Elizabeth while I go take a break. I need a bit of a break. I had a long day today, so I had a 4-hour almost a 4-hour meeting today before I came on. So
we just leave it running, or
I'm gonna put a song on. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
The song is about 5 minutes long. So here we go. I'm gonna mute.
clouds move above, dark hearts shudder below. We move as ghosts through the embittered soul souls. We pay dues to the ferryman, carrying souls so far away. Dirty deeds done cannot be undone. Dirty deeds done. Again we come undone. The crimes of our fathers await the judge of our soul. Somber standing at the edge, blood river crashes below. Churn over boiling flames, reaper reads out our names. Go! 30 things done cannot be undone. Dirty deeds done. Again we come undone. Over barren, wasteful lands, the demons carry our carcass. The master lift calls our names. Hollow words, foul their fears. Dragged to the torture racks, bound and blinded we toil under the hot flames forever. Dirty deeds done cannot be undone. Dirty deeds done. Oh, then we come undone. We come undone. We come undone.
Good afternoon, judges. We've all read the history and legends of creatures that used to walk this land side by side with us. Now, I've spent many long years reading and researching this very question. Did they really exist? According to my research, they look like this.
Welcome back. Thank you for hanging out. All you wonderful people still in the still watching us. And now we're gonna move on to Roblox. I think my what is that called? Oh, wait. I came to kick ass and chew gum, but I'm all out of chewing gum. Was it I'm All Out of Gum? I think. Is that the one? I don't know. And that one needs to go so I can get the right link up. And here we go. So this is this information. I mean, the talk about things happening on Roblox isn't new. What is new? That entire country, Singapore, is actually going to sue on behalf of parents Roblox. You know, that multi-million-dollar game platform. I actually like the toys from it, and I didn't even know it's from Roblox because I go out op shopping every other week. And so I pick up, you know, whatever is there for 50 cents, dollar, or whatever. I think there's a place I go to where it's like $5 for $3. That's right. So there'll be like a bin full of these toys that people are just giving away, and then, you know, it's charity thing. Salvation Army thrift shop, right? So, and there's another one for hospital elderly care, right? When people are on their last beds, they get sent to hospice, so they actually taken care of. So I like to go out, and these two shops spend, you know, money every week to get whatever, you know, and it all piles up. And then after a while, I end up with a whole bunch of stuff I don't want, and then I take it back to them and let them sell it again to make money again.
So
And
they're suing Roblox, huh?
yeah, bro, we're suing Roblox is the thing. And so yeah, so let me put this banner up so we can change this into Roblox thing. Where are we? Here we go. One thing I got to say though is that I've never played the game.
Well, yeah,
right?
it's for kids.
Yeah. But the thing is, my nephew did, and I don't know. And so when I found about this, he had already kind of stopped. So it's like aged out of it somehow.
Right.
But you know, when I used to visit him, he'd be on there playing it, and he got show me this and show me that on that. I was like, it doesn't, you know, it's like Minecraft. It's like 30 minutes is all I could handle on that thing, and I'm off it. Even my nephew.
I never
Sorry.
got the point. I never got the point of Minecraft.
Yeah, well, when back about, I think it's about a decade ago, my I gave my Xbox to my nephews and nieces to you know, to play because I was too busy doing other stuff like running my store, and so I would buy them skins. I'd use my card and buy them skins and stuff for Minecraft and stuff. But the weird thing is, like, Roblox, you just play it on your PC, so every home has a PC, right? And you think that, like, okay, your kids are safe on that PC, and so you let them play the games because it's like, you know, it's a game for kids. However, we find out that there are a lot of adults in back rooms and in groups and forums for Roblox who are grooming kids. And just last week, 2 kids disappeared around 10 years old with people that met on Roblox, and which is why I brought this up.
Platforms in the world. The developers of that game are now facing mounting criticism over child safety concerns.
Games like this are not helping.
The Roblox Corporation has sent a cease and desist letter to me.
Instead of stopping the predators, Roblox stops the people stopping the predators.
They are the problem.
People everywhere are furious with Roblox, and now they're getting sued. The platform promised to be safe, but the reality is very different. So today, I'm breaking down the entire case, even meeting with some of the biggest YouTubers. And then, on behalf of everyone, I'm helping to sue Roblox. This summer, Roblox was hit with a massive lawsuit centered on a young player known as DH. The lawsuit claims she joined the platform massive lawsuit centered on a young player known as DH. The lawsuit claims she joined the platform after believing the company's promise that it was safe and educational. While using Roblox, she was allegedly approached by an adult misrepresenting who they were, and the platform's moderation systems didn't catch it. She was later taken from her home and abused by the same individual. And she's not alone.
Like I said, are your kids safe on Roblox? I mean, the title, right? Roblox, kids are not safe. And like entire country, Singapore, is suing them because their kids were not safe.
What have they put up any attempts at kind of safety for the users, or they just let it happen?
Bro, when the gamers were calling it out and saying, "Hey, kids are not safe," they did nothing. Which is what's going to get
very irresponsible too. You'd think they'd be on top of that.
Well, that's kind of reminds me of the Muslims in for a decade who got away with grooming and abusing children in UK, because going after them would be seen as being racist, even though it was all the brownies like myself who were doing it. But they were Muslims though, so you can't go after brownies, you know, raping and abusing your children and grooming them in the hundreds and trafficking them and drugging them. So these guys basically turned a blind eye and did nothing, and that's why they're in big shit. I just hope like this is going to be like one of those things which says, well, you need to protect kids and you guys aren't. And it's why I think the reason there's so many so-called trans kids and trans people now, teenagers, is because of backroom forums and grooming, online grooming groups.
I would say there's a mental health crisis that's these kids wanting to be transgendered. I don't think it's anything to do with grooming.
Oh no, they're getting groomed into it, and then they're going to school, who are teachers who are also grooming them into it. Right?
That would be possible.
So it's like at home, in your home, you're getting groomed by the people in your forum, right? In your groups and whatever, right? In your music groups or you know, TikTok and all that shit. And then you go to school, then your teachers are there, and then you're getting peer pressured into it by the LGBT groups, right? The T group especially. I've seen that with my very fucking eyes, bro. Here,
really?
Locally. Yeah.
Huh. Is it possible it's a little of both?
Oh yeah, it's all of it. It's all of the above, right? Peer pressure, groups, forum, online groups, you know, closed off groups, where adults are pretending to be kids, right? Anonymously, whatever you want to call it, right? And then they go to school and the teacher's like, yeah, you don't have to tell your parents about how you feel, about your mental health. You know, here, let me put you next to this group. These people think like this, and so they might be able to help you. It's fucked up, bro. The moment, I mean, I know not every parent, kid's home life is good, right? I'm not dead blind to that whole shit. But you don't separate the kid from the parent about those things. As a good teacher, you would be like, hey, let's get together with your parents and let's talk about it. Let's get the guns low and not like just start pushing you into it, you know. But here with Roblox, they weren't protecting the kids at all. Imagine putting they talk about like bringing your TV into your home and you like have like, you know, leave the kids to it and like leave them up till 11 o'clock at night or whatever, watching stuff. Us Gen Xers, we grew up understanding what's what, right? Because we grew up with that shit. The new generation doesn't stand watch because they don't know how to think that way, because they don't understand how to think for themselves anymore, right? They just taught to follow the leader. Whereas us, we're so punk attitude that we're like, what do you mean? Explain it to me. Right? What you talking about, Willis? You know, that was like our theme. Right? What you talking about? So kids these days, they don't really understand how to think and analyze shit, and they get easily peer pressured into it and groomed into shit.
Well, there's a study that went out that the recent generation is dumber than the previous.
And the schools aren't helping them to be smarter either.
Nope.
Which is kind of sad. Especially when you got all this information at your fingertips, bro. Right? They've got
I said. You ever seen a stream with like people in their like 20s right now, and they keep asking the same question, and it's like they're holding their phone in their hands, like, dude, you have Google. Like there's this one stream where this person in their 20s, they're asking how far somebody was away from them, and I said, you have your phone in your hand, Google it. You know.
Well, that's because they haven't been told to look things up, right?
Right. Well, you know, it's also like they have all. What's the point of being the most informed generation when you can't even use all that information at your fingertips?
Yeah.
It's like being Superman with, you know, you have all that power, but you can't wield it.
Right.
Since 2018, police have arrested at least 24 people accused of misusing Roblox to contact young users and move chats off platform. Some had prior records. Others were people in trusted roles, like teachers, nurses, even a cop. Even Roblox has reported over 13,000 flagged incidents on its platform, a huge jump from roughly 3,000 the year before. Roblox says that's just a small fraction compared to all US reports. But for parents, the numbers feel staggering. And here's the core claim. The lawsuit argues Roblox allegedly knew these risks, but kept selling parents on the idea of a safe digital playground. Even some of Roblox's biggest creators are speaking out. Take Schlepp, a YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers. When he was younger, he says he had a troubling experience involving a Roblox developer.
All that happened to me, it totally messed me up mentally. It made me have to go into therapy and psychologically messed with, relationships that I had, even till this day. I mean, it's something that, it was messed up.
That experience pushed him to act. As an adult, he began working with police by conducting investigations on Roblox. His efforts have led to the arrest of 6 people. So Schlepp, what was the goal when you started making videos about safety issues on Roblox?
It really all started back to my own personal experiences related to it. I had some very negative experiences as a kid, and I was affected by a very popular developer. So I saw these issues firsthand, like I experienced them.
But instead of celebrating him, Roblox banned his accounts and sent a cease and desist letter, accusing him of violating the rules against vigilante groups.
They're trying to silence the whistleblowers. They're spending more energy going after people like Schlepp, but what they're doing, they're trying to put a muzzle on this whole thing. They're also trying to silence all the victims. And this is important, Mike.
That same day, Schlepp dropped an 8-minute video where he described his ban, as well as his troubling experience with the Roblox developer. Schlepp slammed Roblox for failing to take action against the developer for years. He claims during that time, Roblox even continued to pay and promote the developer. Afterwards, the backlash exploded. Roblox developers changed game thumbnails to say "Free Schlepp." Thousands of players staged in-game protests. Even major creators like Moist Critical, Gideon, and Creekcraft piled on, calling Roblox.
Holy shit. Moist has got 17 million subscribers. Dude, we're a speck in his eye. I mean, sorry, we're dust compared to him.
Right, but they're getting all those reports, and how long did it take for that kid? That kid was how long did it take for him to be heard?
Until he was an adult. They didn't even do anything, did they? Hold on, hold on. Where am I? They actually tried to stop him. So. Hold on,
something that, it was messed up.
That experience pushed him to act. As an adult, he began working with police.
I think he was, if I remember right, because I watched his bit on it, he was 8 years old. So, was he? I think he was like a minor. So maybe 14, 13. And then, like, if you're saying it's 18 now, right? So it's about 4 years ago. So I guess, it's only been the last 4 years that he's been, because look, if you've been traumatized that way as a child, it's going to take a lot of effort to get over it, to actually decide to do something about it. Right.
Right.
So yeah, he's only just, I mean, and he caught 6 of them, dude. Yeah. This is a, like I said, actually, hold on. Let me get my, let me just slim that down. How, okay, what is the value of, what is the value of, what do you call it? Like, what's the worth of, Roblox, right? Of
I have
Roblox.
no idea, dude.
Yeah, hopefully I've worded that right, because I suck at sometimes wording sentences right. People get pissed off with me sometimes when I can't get it right in my brain. Okay, so what's the value? Come on, Grok. Yeah, worth surges with massive user growth and revenue hitting billions. Dude, billions market cap. So I'll carry on with this and we'll get back to that. Let me see. It's just taking 40 seconds. $50 billion, dude, and can't protect kids. All right. That's current stock value. $68 to $71 per share. Share outstanding is probably 661 to 709 million. As of late this month, right now, I guess, 50 billion capitalization is of $50 billion. Market cap, right?
Right.
And I was talking about millions, I just didn't know how much. So now, billions. It's worth $50 billion. And these guys have all this money, and rather than protecting kids and building a platform that protects kids and keeps predators out, no, we'll go after the people who are trying to go after the predators, because you won't.
Roblox even continued to pay and promote the developer. Afterwards, the backlash exploded. Roblox developers changed game thumbnails to say free schlep. Thousands of players staged in-game protests. Even major creators like Moist Critical, Gideon, and Creekcraft piled on, calling Roblox backwards and hypocritical. Hashtag free schlep trended worldwide.
I was blown away with all the support, and it's been absolutely amazing reading all the messages. It was trending on Twitter for 3 days straight when the news first broke of it. And I mean, people were just outraged. They saw it for what it was. They were silencing someone trying to blow the whistle.
I think that's a really, really powerful thing. He was a 22-year-old kid. He was just a gamer. And I think he really stepped up to the plate to stand up to this Goliath.
Then it went mainstream. Congressman Ro Khanna publicly backed Schlep, sharing a petition demanding Roblox improve its safety. That petition hit 100,000 signatures in less than a week, and Roblox's stock price dropped by $12 billion. Now, Schlep, did you expect your videos to get as much attention as they did?
Honestly, no. My whole goal with these videos is actually just to bring this to the attention of Roblox. Like, I wanted Roblox to see what was going on, because I was reporting these communities to Roblox. I was making reports on a lot of these people. Nothing was happening. And the only other thing you can do is go public with it. So that's what I did.
But the story doesn't end there. Schlep just announced he's suing Roblox, not over the ban, but over the damage he says he suffered years ago from a developer on the platform. His lawyer confirmed he's also representing many others with similar stories.
We have over 800 cases involving sex abuse. These are personal injury claims. So survivors are coming forward because of the personal injuries and the trauma they experienced. And we think it's a very strong case. And I think that's part of the reason they're fighting so hard to try and move this into some types of confidential proceedings. So they think people will forget about what happened, and then they won't.
And now, because of you all bringing this issue to my attention, I've made the decision to team up with Schlepp's lawyer to help sue Roblox. Reach out to my firm, IThinkIHaveACase.com, if you've gone through something similar. If someone is scared about something they experienced on Roblox, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to call a lawyer, find out about their legal options, and let them know that they will be believed. There's strength in numbers. Terrible things happen on Roblox. Hundreds and hundreds of people have come forward. We're here for you.
Definitely reach out to us. We are here to help.
Now he's fighting back in court, because if Roblox won't be held accountable in their own platform, we'll make sure that they're held accountable in the courtroom.
Now let's investigate how Roblox is designed because the lawsuits claim there are at least 3 serious flaws. First, until 2021, anyone could make an account by entering just a username, password, and birthday. Users could misstate their age and unlock unrestricted chat, which the lawsuits claim made it very common to find lower levels talking with adults. YouTubers like Gideon and Rob the Master, who have become well known for exposing bad actors, have said just how easy it is.
When we went on Roblox, it did not take long for our account to get attention from child predators. It was almost instantaneous.
Roblox says it's taking stronger steps to protect its younger players. The company has rolled out ID verification, asking players over 13 to scan a government-issued ID and selfie to gain access to certain features. It's also testing age estimation, where machine learning guesses a user's age from a short video. And new features like trusted connections are meant to limit deeper chat and voice features to people you actually know in real life.
You know, we weren't just finding 1 or 2 peppers on there. We've caught 6 off of the game itself. But not only that, we've had dozens of these guys just contacting and grooming our decoy that we sadly weren't able to catch. And the real sad thing out here is that Roblox is going around telling parents that they're one of the safest apps for children, when from my own experience, that's not the case.
Even with ID checks and trusted connections, the scale of the platform makes full protection something that has to be taken even more seriously.
Unless you wanted to play the 17 plus mic up games and stuff like that. Anybody can pretty much sign up for Roblox.
Next, the game uses in-game currency called Robux. Players use Robux to buy rare accessories and customize their avatars, and many lower levels are obsessed with it. The lawsuits point out these players even say they do anything for Robux. So bad actors can take advantage of that by dangling Robux to gain control. And third is the lack of moderation. In 2017, the company claimed it had thousands of moderators working 24/7, plus advanced filters blocking unsafe content. The reality looks very different. For starters, Roblox has hosted many games with questionable themes, including Run from Diddy Simulator, Shower Simulator, and Bloody Battles. The fact that these games even existed undercuts Roblox's claim of being a safe, moderated place. But it's not just the games that are concerning. Roblox is now the go-to social platform for younger audiences. 78 million users log in every day. The platform processes more than 50,000 chat messages every second. Roblox claims its AI and human reviewers scan all of it, text, audio, and images. But here's the problem. The company allegedly employs only about 3,000 moderators. Compare that to TikTok, roughly 3 times Roblox's daily users, but over 13 times the number of moderators on staff. The reason for the lack of moderators is allegedly due to Roblox's focus on growth over safety. In fact, 8 current and former trust and safety staff describe ignored requests for more resources.
Imagine your own staff saying, yo, we need more resources to keep kids safe. Yeah, we have $50 billion, but we can't get more staff. It's like, and then you go out there saying, hey, we're the safest place for your kids. Come and play here. All the while, you know that kids are getting abused, kids going missing. So I'm going to stop with this one.
I didn't know they could be that incompetent with their protection or their attempt at.
Yeah. And you don't even have to hack into it. All right?
Nope.
So this is just from this week. This week, where is it? 3 weeks ago. So this is, let me get that title. 2 Florida sisters rescued after Roblox abduction. Suspect drove 1,500 miles to meet them. 2 kids, man. 2 girls. And this is just 2 girls. There's boys as well. Right?
2 girls from the Treasure Coast are now home safe after deputies say they were abducted in Martin County.
Investigators say the suspect first contacted them on the popular gaming platform Roblox before traveling more than 1,500 miles to meet them.
Two sisters now back home safe in their small Florida town. Martin County Sheriff John Budenseek says it was a multi-agency search for the 12 and 15-year-old girls that crossed state lines. It began when the family reported the girls missing after not coming back from this park in Indiantown Saturday night.
We were dealing with a type of abduction. I know these girls went willingly, but their age suggested that they had been taken.
Detectives say the sisters got into 19-year-old Sir Mulasse's car despite not having their phones on them. They say he'd been grooming the girls for months, talking with them through the Roblox app and then through Snapchat.
There was romantic conversation. Again, nothing sexually explicit that we found yet.
Sheriff Budenseek says Lasse drove from Omaha, Nebraska to Big Mound Park to meet up with the sisters. This surveillance image shows the suspect at the Circle K gas station in Indiantown just hours earlier.
He took a picture of himself inside of the Circle K store in Indiantown in the morning. That allowed us to start working, backtracking his movements. It allowed us to identify a car.
Just after 10 a.m. Sunday, Georgia troopers found and stopped Lasse's car with the two sisters inside. He's now facing charges for kidnapping.
In this case, I think we prevented something disastrous. Do I know it was going to happen? No, none of us do.
Not a dirty old man, only 20 years old.
Jailhouse justice.
Yeah.
Had we not found those girls in a timely manner, had everybody here not kicked in the gear and found those girls, these girls would be at least in Omaha, Nebraska, missing.
The sheriff is reminding parents to keep a close eye on your kids' activity online and talk with them about the risks on platforms like Roblox. The suspect is expected to be extradited from Georgia back to Martin County by the end of the week.
All right. So that's just 3 weeks ago, right? So there's still shit going on Roblox while it's getting sued. So here's this one from ABC News, brought to you by The Monkey Show. Hundreds of parents asked Roblox board to stop attempt to force lawsuits out of the public eye. So Roblox is suing parents. All right. It's got the gaming platform faces over 100 lawsuits, which were recently consolidated. So all of them are in one. Now, I just checked up with, let me just bring it up here, with Grok to say, hey, what's going on with this thing? How many people are suing them, right? So I said, well, how many people are suing Roblox for unsafe child platform? And it goes, yeah, dozens of lawsuits, at least 80 centralized in MDL. I don't know what MDL is as of December, so it's like the last 3 months. But here's all the different things, right? So you got lawsuits going up, 800 plus petitions, all right? 11 families, 800 families, class action suit. That means the whole. This is what should happen with Comicsgate against Ethan Van Sciver, class action suit for fraud and Ponzi scheme, supposedly. But I reckon it's definitely fraud, though. Don't know about the Ponzi scheme, but it's definitely fraud, right? County in LA on behalf of children. No specific number in Texas. San Fran. So this is all across. But the other thing is, right, like I said, a country, Singapore, is going up against them. So, but what is what is Roblox doing about it? That $50 billion company.
Now to popular gaming platform Roblox, announcing its rollout of a new feature meant to help keep kids safe. Becky Worley joins us now with those details.
Wait, they're going to keep kids safe after they started getting sued?
Right. They should have thought about that before they got sued.
But Tim, remember, Schlepp was saying, hey, this platform's unsafe. Man, come on, man. Do something about it. And then they sued him to silence him. But now that parents are involved and it's a class action suit, right? Because he's only a 20-year-old kid, right? He's only 22 years old. But now it's hundreds of parents involved across the world. right? Not just in America. Now they want to do something safe about it. But for years, they were told by the staff, we got to do something about this, man. This is getting really bad. You know, kids aren't safe here. Oh, no, we can't provide you with extra workers, extra staff. We just want to count our money.
Morning, Becky.
Good morning, Robin. Roblox, more than 150 million people use the gaming platform every day, and it is hugely popular with kids. Now the company announced...
Oh. Okay. Oh.
And Roblox is announcing new measures aimed at protecting minors. The company says it's rolling out age-based chats and facial age estimation technology to eliminate communication between adults and kids on their platforms. Now, this is the first, and the company hopes it will set a new standard for the gaming industry. The announcement also comes...
They do it woke. It's so woke, bro. Did you see how that went? They want to be the standard bearers all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They want to teach the other people to do right.
Tried to sue them a billion times.
Yeah. It's like, we want to be the standard bearer to keep kids safe. After what? Wait, hold on. How long is it? It's been a decade, hasn't it? How long has Roblox existed? I spelled it without an S. All right. Let's see. What are you saying now? So 20 years, dude. The fucking platform's been around for 20 years, since 2006, right? And now they want to make changes to keep kids safe. All of a sudden, dude.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Its public beta launch was in September 1st, 2006. So 20 years. It's a $50 billion net company, right? Value. So they've, yearly profit of whatever, right? Actually, hold on. That's what I should ask. What is the yearly profit? What is the yearly profit of Roblox? Now, I've just got one more video, and I think that's us for today. We want to keep these to 2 hours because, I think going over 2 hours is a bit long for me, my brain. Like I said, I had a 3.5 hour meeting, and then before that, I had 8 hours of friggin' work to do to get to do comic work, because we got to get three freaking campaigns out, 2 in 1 and then 1 on 1 next month. And you got to set up all the, what is it called, the Kickstarter pages, and start pushing out promotions for them and everything. That takes about 3 weeks anyway. 2 weeks to set up, 2-3 weeks. But you got to have everything ready, because for me, right, I don't believe in putting up a project that's half finished or partly finished. I want to make sure every single page is finished. Every piece of art is finished. Even the logo that's going to go on the card is finished, or the back of the card. Tim?
Yeah. I said yeah.
All right. So yeah. So I think, where is this? I've got so many under one friggin' title that I get lost in trying to figure out where they are. It's this must have 100 links here. So I wanted to. There was one thing here I saw where the boys were. I can't find it now. Boys went missing. Hold on. Let me see if I can just do a search on its own. But what did I say for Roblox? I had to find something here. So Roblox brings home almost $5 billion just last year alone. That's profit, bro. Annual revenue for the full year of December last year. It was 3.6 in 24, It's 4.8 last year, which means it made $1.2 billion profit, up from 3.6 a year previously. So one more clip, and boys go missing after Roblox meetup. I think it was Roblox meetup. This is the most recent I could think of. Yeah. So yeah, because like we're talking about two girls, right? And so this is young boys.
Right.
So I just got to balance it out. You got the boys, and you got the girls, now you got the boys. So it's like it's not just girls that are getting missing or getting groomed on here, like we saw with Clap before. It was a boy by another dude who was a developer on Roblox, right? So this one will be the last video, and we'll play it through. I'll give you the link as well. Well, I'll play it until my brain goes, it's a bit too much for me to handle, and then we'll stop.
Don't make videos like that on the go. I'm a truck driver.
What was that, dude?
Let's go. Okay.
Okay.
Usually I don't make videos like this on the go. I'm a truck driver, so I don't have a whole lot of time to be at home and sit in front of the desk and make a video like this, but it is quite urgent, and I can see how many people are looking for answers. As I myself have a young daughter and I play Roblox with her, and now I no longer trust this platform to even have my daughter on, even though I'm playing with her. And we have a case of a mother that's looking for her child, and I can't help but really, really feel for her. Here is a story of Thomas Midland. Prepare if you are, somebody that doesn't like to hear anything upsetting. I totally understand this. And like I said, I'm a father, and this cuts deep into my heart. Okay. So 15-year-old Thomas Midland from St. James, Long Island, disappeared after traveling into Manhattan alone. As investigators worked to piece together his final moments, one detail quickly caught public attention: a possible connection to Roblox. On January 9, Thomas left school and took the Long Island Railroad into New York City. Surveillance footage later showed him inside Grand Central Terminal before he eventually made his way towards the Manhattan Bridge. Police say Thomas was last seen on the pedestrian walkway of the Manhattan Bridge just after 7 p.m. His phone activity stopped minutes later, and investigators later identified evidence consistent with a splash in the East River. No footage shows him leaving the bridge. So here's where the speculation of Roblox actually has to come into play. The police have already said that there is a possibility of no connection. They look through profiles, social media, and whatnot, but the mother is very adamant that this is a possible Roblox meetup. So early in the search, Thomas' mother publicly shared concerns that her son may have gone into the city to meet somebody he had interacted with online, possibly through Roblox. This raised alarms for many parents, especially given how popular Roblox is among younger users and how often it functions as a social platform, not just a game. However, law enforcement later clarified that no evidence has been found linking Roblox or any online contact to Thomas's disappearance. Investigators reviewed digital activity and determined there was no confirmed meetup and no criminal connection involving the platform. Roblox has stated that they are cooperating with the authorities during this investigation. There's no surprise that, when it comes down to Roblox and predators, it's unfortunate, but it's actually a well-known thing. And of course, when I'm playing Roblox with my daughter, luckily there's just hobby jumping games, stuff like that, but even then you have to be careful. This is a very impressionable location for kids. Roblox doesn't really facilitate a totally safe platform for kids, even though police ruled out the direct Roblox connection in the case, the fact that the question came up at all highlights are largely concerned how online platforms blur the lines between gaming and social interaction, especially for kids. For Thomas's family, this was never about blaming a game. It was about finding answers. And like so many missing person cases, some of those answers may never fully come. Thomas Midland case remains a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly someone can vanish and how complicated the digital world has made parenting, safety, and accountability. So if you have any information, contact the authorities. And if you are a parent out there, please make sure that you are monitoring your kids, not just on Roblox, but YouTube, every platform, because now it is a very, very dangerous platform. This video is 100% not monetized. This isn't about cloud.
So I'm just going to put that there and we'll end it there, right? So he disappeared on 9th of last month, January 2026, in Long Island, New York.
Right.
The dude went, was it like 1,500? Did he travel 1,500 miles? No, that was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do they have any? Do they know any whereabouts of the kid or the person?
No, he's just gone. Dude's just gone. The last one was here when he was at the train. Here, right at the train station, subway, whatever, bus stop. I think that's a train. Sorry, train station. So he got on. He went there, and that's it. Disappeared. The other thing is, like most time, if you go runaway, kids go for wonders in their own community, right? I'm just going to go to the river. I need time out. But to go this far, that's what really, because I've done that myself. I've just, got hung out with my mate and said, oh, let's go for a long walk. And then found out that we just went away and then decided to just carry on and then come home until late at night when we started getting cold. And then next thing you know, there's a freaking parents there with the police car and going, where have you been? We've been worried sick about you. We just went away to hang out, and next thing we just, we're running around, and next thing we just got, I don't know, just got tired. Then we got hungry, and then it was like nighttime, and now it's 9 o'clock. Went away at midday and came back at 9 o'clock at night. However, we were still in our community, like still around our backyard, really, within like about 10-mile radius. This guy just went way away, which is nobody goes way away without somebody on the other end.
Yeah,
right?
I find that odd. I find that odd that a kid would go meet some stranger somewhere.
Yeah.
Then again, we grew up at a different time, so.
Yeah, this whole grooming thing, man. People don't realize how kids' brains work. Most of our brains, like especially males, or even kids, are girls, right? We don't mature until like 18, 20s, 22 sometimes, right? And that's when like people target the kids because like when your brain's still not as innocent, right? We know that kids
18 and
are
20s
impressionable.
adults. So what you're talking about younger though.
Yeah. What I mean is that like our brains fully don't mature until like 18, 20, right? But at that younger age, which is why we call them minors, impressionable, when they're young and they're easily impressionable and trusting. And that's why lots of like the trans community goes after them when they're young, right? Groomers go after them when they're young, right? That's why there's actually a group out there called Gays Against Groomers, and the thousands of members around the world, right? Gay people who are against the T, right? Against the trans community because they see them as groomers, nothing else. So, so this whole thing, kids, man, like parents, they just don't understand how dangerous things are. I understood all this shit as a kid, right? Too late. But also 20 years ago when Facebook started being a big thing, I was like, shit. I told my sister, don't post any baby photos. Don't post any baby photos of the kids, right? Because I could see how disgusting humans are, as a society, right? Because there are people amongst us who are monsters, who only care about themselves, and so parents need to be more mindful than ever before. Like even in our time, right? We had terrible people even in our age, right? In the 80s and 90s, but we didn't have internet. We didn't have a phone in our pocket. Right.
Not until almost like the end of the 90s when it really started taking off.
Yeah. Especially when forums, like I remember in 96, 97, when I was in like internet forums, hanging out with other grown-ups. Now it's like you're a grown-up and there's a kid in there and you're like, or you are pretending to be a kid with other kids in that group. I just feel sorry for parents now, and I also feel sorry for them because they're too busy. And so when they're too busy, their kids are left on their own. And like we're latchkey kids. I'm a latchkey kid, right? Nobody was home when I got home, right? And mom used to be working on a Saturday. Dad would be out
I think
coaching.
For me, it was like starting in middle school. Like they had my mom would go to the grocery store, and I had to let myself into the garage, or maybe they forgot to leave the keys, so I had to build a sophisticated ladder to the bathroom window of the second floor and kind of squeeze my way through, which was not the brightest thing to do, but yeah.
Or the worst thing is like if you accidentally lock the door. And I had to squeeze myself through the friggin' washing room window. Oh, it was terrible, bro.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I just no, there's I don't know. Also, the need to always be online. I mean, I use the internet as a way to promote my books, and that's all I need it for.
yeah, I'm at this moment, like, I got perma banned because I think I had a mess reporting on me. And then I also did a stupid thing with the facial selfie thing. So I'm perma banned on YouTube, on Facebook, but I did start another one up for my for business and family, and that's it, right? Nothing else. No, I don't even post anything apart from stuff about what we're creating. Nothing anymore. No social things or whatever. But I think I'm trying to look. It's just that parents are so busy, bro. Right? That's how that easily their kids get groomed because they got nothing else. They're distracted. They think there's a friend that on the other end that they could talk to, but it turns out to be a frigging monster that they don't know until it's too late.
Right.
And yeah, I'm trying to find this one vid that I saw about that about like how busy parents are as this kid begs. Actually, I think it's Benny put it up, but I don't want his commentary on it because I just want to see the video on its own. But it's Benny Johnson, I think he put it up. But I just wanted the comment without the commentary because he's got this reaction video to it, and it's a short that he put up. Let me just see if I can find it because I think this is how this is it. So let me remove that, and then we'll finish. I did say we're going to have one more video, but I think this is where it's a good place to leave this at. So let me see. It will open to that.
This is the most.
Here we go. So Benny Johnson, right? I don't know where the actual clip is. I don't know what it's called. But let me see. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, this is the other thing. It hasn't even put the real. Look, man, Benny, you have like a fucking million followers, dude. At least credit the person who created the video so I can go watch it on that video and show that link.
He looks like a younger Howie Long.
Don't know who that is.
Played for the Oakland Raiders back in the day.
Okay. But yeah, I wish this dude would dude, if you're gonna use somebody else's content, do link them. At least give that person, some credit, like, because you're using somebody else's content, and you've got 1 million followers. You're getting paid for the ad revenue and shit, dude.
There, I mean, there's like this one guy who, he does these. He roasts everybody. A lot of people on TikTok, but he never gives out the names because
that's fine. But he's actually just reacting to. I don't want his reaction to it because I want to see the original video, but it doesn't even say what the name of the video is, right?
Oh.
Which is it's the most important video. Okay, well, what is it? Give me the link to it. I call this AI. I call this theft, like content theft, because now I want to actually see the real fucking video, not your reaction to it,
Most
right?
important video.
Because at the end of the day, is I got to watch his face get all teary-eyed and watch a little tiny clip of that video here when I could show you the entire thing, right? And then give credit to that. The content creator. That's why I always put the links in the chat like this, and the title, because I want you guys to go check it out. Give those people a sub, whatever, right? Give them, hey ho, what's up, sort of thing, because that's how you help other creators grow. But this annoys me.
Video AI has ever produced.
It's the Cameron Warday. Huh? Where eat this? I don't try to get up.
And that is us for today. And the link's in the chat, even though he freaking made a really tiny freaking thing of it. I wish I could show you guys the whole video, because I was still looking for the full title of that video, but I couldn't find it. The link to that. So apologies for that.
Yep.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. We're a week late. Missed out on 2 streams, but we're here.
Oh yeah. I kept getting the message. No, I can't do it today.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not feeling well with food poisoning, then having meetings, then having to catch up on 3 days of work, because I work every day to try to do shit, because I only have a couple hours a day where my brain works. But thank you, man. I really appreciate you being here on this as my co-host.
Oh yeah, it's a blast.
All right, guys. Hopefully, you give us a sub, give us a like, whatever. Do that wonderful thing. Us Kiwis, we don't like to promote ourselves much. It's just not in our nature to, scream about ourselves. So whatever, do your thing. And there is two of our friends are live streaming right now. So I'm going to pass on that link. You can go to Alasmet channel.
I think he just ended.
Oh, he did end. Oh, yeah, he did. Darn it. Okay, so anyway, we've got Wiggle as well, who's one of our other friends.
Oh yeah.
Wiggle's got a stream going on. That's like I guess that's the CG bot customer support and service to buyback. What? I don't know.
Yeah.
Buyback Buckaroo. Anyway, there's a link there. Go check it out. And I think he hasn't started yet because it's still the intros. So thank you guys. Awesome. Oh, hey, before we go, our links are in the chat for our stuff. Our stuff, my stuff hasn't come out yet, but will be coming out. But here's Tim's stuff. Go
And
check
you
it out.
will love it. It's better than crack.
Okay. Go check it out. And I'm supposed to get a PDF sometime. I just haven't got around to it. So I can check it out. For myself, I'm just not reading anything at the moment.
It's
Because
better than crack.
Well, the thing is, I don't like to read too much comics when I'm actually writing because I don't want to get influenced by other stuff.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like you have those like a person who does like punk rock music. I guarantee you they don't all listen. They don't listen to punk rock music. They might listen to like The Doors or something. Yeah.
Classic music.
Lame
Right?
it's lame to listen to the stuff you play.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Tim. Kaki to everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully, you got something out of us today. And
Or
wherever you are, wherever you are, be well, be safe.
Yep.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Catch you on the flip side. Thank you, Tim.
Nope. Can't stay here anymore. I gotta get back. I think this was the spot. Oh Lord, I beseech thee, please return me to my old life. I swear I'll do anything. Like, literally anything. And I won't bother you again, so pretty please bring me back to life.